throughout your career at ST Microelectronics, you have been in ST Microelectronics for about 19 years. So, what were some of the very interesting projects that you have worked on that you could remember? I know that almost every project that you have worked would be interesting, but in your opinion, for you, what were some of the challenging and most interesting projects that you have worked on?
Okay, so a few projects actually stand out, and they stand out also because probably no one else in the country has done such kind of projects that we got exposed to at ST Microelectronics. So I am a memory designer, so I was in the memory design team at ST, and with memory design team, what the beautiful thing was that we were a bigger team, or we were the biggest design team for memories in ST worldwide. So we were leading the architecture design, we were leading the methodology design, we were the leaders. In fact, the Noida team still continues to be the leader in defining the strategy of ST for embedded memories. And due to this leadership position, or due to this kind of an exposure, this kind of a responsibility, we were exposed to designing very interesting memories, which would probably never come to a person in any other company, at least not in India. And we have worked on cross memories where you have two ports, where one port is orthogonal to the other. So typically when we talk of dual port memories, we have two port memories, which the two ports are kind of parallel to each other. It's easy to access, it's easy to read, and control logic is much simpler. We worked on transpose memories where you would write on the rows, but you would read from the columns. So we have done very interesting stuff. That was one kind of memory that we have worked on. Then, as the technology scaled, see, frankly, when you purchase a new laptop or a new phone, you expect the performance to improve, isn't it? If your last laptop was operating at 2 gigahertz, you would now want it to operate at 2.4 gigahertz, 2.2 gigahertz. It should improve.
Yeah.
You expect it to be cheaper also. Okay, this extra performance at a cheaper cost, not even the same cost. You want it to be cheaper. But for memories, it doesn't really happen that way. So while the remaining logic and other part of the technology would shrink with scaling in technology, memory cell area does not shrink. At least in the advanced technologies, it doesn't shrink. And even then, you have to give that performance gain to the user, give that cost benefit to the user, and also prolong the life, because the devices are leakier in advanced technologies, and you have to have techniques which would reduce that leakage, which would manage stuff in a different way. So the challenges were immense, and projects were exciting. Every new technology that we transitioned into, a completely new set of challenges came. One of the key challenges was that as the technology scales, variability increases. Now, on one side, I am saying that the performance of the area of the memory cell is not reducing. So performance of the memory cell is not improving, again, because area is not reducing. Performance is also not improving because the currents are already low. The memory cell is almost the minimum size already. And over the top of it, there is a variability challenge. So what we realized early on was that Gaussian assumptions no longer work for memory cells. And that led us, me and my team, to explore methods to verify the memory self-timing, memory design without this Gaussian assumption. So we had to delve deep into statistics. We were 10 years into our jobs, left statistics long behind us. But here we were again touching extreme value theorems and probability, and arriving at logical estimates, at logical methods to be able to verify the SRAM. I think that was one of the most exciting and the turning point in my career also, because till then I was mostly into memory design, architecture design. Over here, when I did this, I actually realized that there is a huge potential in methodology design also, and that there are possibilities to publish work and there are possibilities to patent. So that was the first project where we actually went through that grind myself. I went through that grind myself. And it was exciting. We were the first ones, I think, across the world to come up with that kind of a methodology, which was more accurate than what even IBM. So IBM, we always felt was the world leader. Uh, IBM was always, in terms of methodology
Yeah, in new
reviews,
methodologies.
methodology updates, it's
Yeah.
always far ahead of others. So we realized that we benchmarked and we realized that our methodology was better than what IBM had proposed in one of their papers. So we were really proud of this work, and then that set me out to say, okay, yaar, maza aa raha hai. I should pursue a PhD, and then I pursued PhD, and then after some time I felt, oh, I should probably go out and teach. So that is when I left ST and joined Triple IT. So I think that project on methodology design for self-timing, replica path tuning, that was a key turning point in my experience.
In fact, it feels very good and honored about listening to someone who is working at cutting edge in any technology. So you have worked in
Yeah,
at
it is
cutting
fun.
edge.
It is fun.
Yeah.
It is fun.
Yes.
Yes.
So you were talking about going to teach at IIIT Delhi. So so that's our next question actually. So you have worked in industry and you have worked on cutting edge technology in memory design. So why all of a sudden after doing your PhD you wanted to go and teach to the students?
So Neeraj, it was not actually all of a sudden thing. So we had Professor R.N. Biswas, who was a mentor at IIIT Delhi, and who was also consulting us at ST Microelectronics. I'm talking about 2011, 2012 timeframe. At that time, I was still pursuing my PhD. So Professor Biswas would visit IIIT and he would also visit ST. And at one point of time, he told us that they're launching the ECE program in 2012. And if I would be interested, I could teach a course at IIIT. So I've always, as you yourself mentioned, that I have been a trainer at ST Microelectronics and all that. So I've always conducted training sessions, and that was, I think since 2003, 2004, I have been conducting trainings at ST. So it did not require too much of an experience to conduct trainings. I was like, I love to share what I know. And when this opportunity came in 2012, I jumped onto it. And while I was still pursuing my PhD, I started to teach at IIIT while being a part of ST. So ST enabled this. ST is a very, I personally feel ST is a very gracious company. It enabled this for me. Not just for me, many other people. Many of us were teaching at IIIT while we were working at ST as guest faculty at IIIT. So I got a taste of teaching regular courses while at ST, while I was still pursuing my PhD. I also started guiding students on projects so they would do a course with me, and then those who were interested to continue to work on some topics that I was interested in, they would join ST as an intern, and I would guide them on the project. So all that was happening through these 2012 to 2019 when I finally joined IIIT. So it was not that it was a sudden decision. It was just that it slowly grew on me that I enjoy this work a lot. I enjoy interacting with students. I enjoy sharing my knowledge. I enjoy sharing my experience with the students and help them grow. So that's how it happened.
So it's clear that it was a gradual decision and you were already into
Yeah.
teaching indirectly, I guess.
Yes.
Yes. So you have, sir, I mean, have you worked on in-memory compute since there's a lot of work that's currently going into processing in memory and in-memory compute? And if so, how is memory circuit design when it's designed for memories with brains?
Yeah. So see, I liken it with the evolution of life. So there was a time when there was no neural system. Then we gradually developed a brain, and gradually that brain did not just do storage of information, it started to do decision making and calculations. That is when human beings came into picture. So that is what is happening with our chips also. There was a time when there was no separate memory at all. Then there came a time when there were register files and there were memories. Memories would only do storage. And today we are in a stage where the kind of compute that needs to be, that you cannot really transfer all that information from the memory to the circuits where that information is required or where the processing can happen. So this is famously known as von Neumann bottleneck. It's something like saying that your brain cannot send all the information for computation through the spine to body parts. Like the hand doesn't really decide it has to form a fist. It is my brain that decides that and then just informs the hand that please form a fist. So that is what is now going to happen more and more with our processors also. Different parts will no longer be deciding by themselves, or the processing will actually reside more and more in the memory itself. So it will no longer be just the memory, it will be the brain of the processor there. So I'm not saying this will happen instantaneously. It is gradually happening. That is the trend we are observing. And in fact, I am working on it. Quite a few of my students are working on it. We have worked on digital in-memory compute. We have published work on embedding security inside the memory. So we are doing security-related computation inside the memory. I have another student who is working on analog in-memory compute for artificial intelligence, that is neural network implementations. Another set of students have worked on in-memory compute for graphic processors, where we studied what are the most commonly used functions in a graphic processor where memory access is required. And we have pushed those things inside the memory. We have those functions are now completely embedded inside the memory, so that data transfer is avoided. That is not no longer required. And we are able to improve the energy efficiency of the system multifold. So not just the performance, but even the energy efficiency of the system increases multifold. So this is a very up and coming field. You rightly said that. And I am enjoying working in it. I'm really enjoying working in it along with my students.
Yes, sir. The analogy with the evolution of human brain was interesting, in fact. And also the answer which you just gave, that makes it very attractive to students. That makes Triple IT Delhi very attractive, because with the projects that you're mentioning, those are very good opportunities for students.
Yeah. So if anyone of your audience is interested to pursue a master's, or just just do some research, or in fact pursue a PhD program at Triple IT Delhi, we are always open. We do not have a cut date that okay, you can apply for admissions only now. Whenever you feel like it, please feel free to approach me. I will be happy to review the problem statements that I have with you. We can identify joint in problem statements of mutual joint interest, and we can take them up. So please feel free to reach out.
Yes, sir. Thank you.